Welcome back, everybody. Week 2 of distance learning. Hopefully you had a good break. I'm looking forward to working with you guys again. Same deal as last time. I've just got a quick video here to break down what's going on this week, give you updates, give you what you're responsible for. So let's get going with that. All right, so real quick today we're going to talk about some AP exam reminders, what's going on with that test. The plan basically till the exam, they'll be kind of give you the plan for this week, and it's going to be really the same plan every week till we take the test, and then just give you a few reminders about what's how we're working this distance learning stuff. Okay, so first thing, AP exam reminders. Number 1, we've got a date. It is Friday, May 15th at 3 p.m. Okay, so that did get pushed back a week from our original date, so we got an extra week to review. I think on our video I sent out, I said 4 weeks. I counted wrong. We've got 5 weeks to get you ready, so more than enough time. It is going to be online, either at home or in school, depending on what's going on later in May. I'm optimistic, about seeing you folks again, but we'll see. Either way, it is an online exam instead of a paper pencil exam. Okay, it's going to be made up of 2 free response questions, and we'll review those specific types of questions for the next 5 weeks here. Okay, so no multiple choice, cutting 4 free response down to 2. Pretty fair deal, honestly, to me. I think we're going to crush this test. The 2 questions will be array/array list questions, and the methods and control structures questions. 2 types of questions we've already been going through in class. Okay, that's what we're going to focus on here. Okay, reminder, it's going to be a 45-minute long test plus a little administrative time. Okay, so that 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, I'd block off a little more time than that. But, okay, no more 3-hour tests this year. You get a shortened one, like I said, pretty good deal. Okay, and you can type or write solutions. I'd recommend type. That'll be the way we kind of practice it this week. And you will have a chance later in the week to practice submissions. Really, as more information, as more examples come into me, we'll be going through those. Okay, aside from just practicing the content, we'll also make sure that going into exam day, you know exactly what to expect, what the website's going to look like, how things are going to work. Okay, we'll be doing all that stuff in the next few weeks here. Okay, like I said, we've got 5 weeks until our exam. That is more than enough time. I'm honestly worried about finding enough example problems for you. I'm going to have to dig back years and years. Okay, but we're going to have time to get you ready. Okay, my plan is kind of have the same weekly routine every week. Okay, and that's going to consist of, there we go, out of order, 2 free response questions per week. So in other words, we're going to go through a full-length practice test every week. It will be timed practice. We're going to count it as homework, graded for completion. So basically my hope is on a weekly basis, you're going to log into Moodle. I'm going to have 2 free response questions taken from previously released exams. You're going to take those. I want to see how you do with them. I'm not going to grade you on whether they're right or wrong. I'm just going to give you a grade based on completion. And then based on that, I'm going to be able to give you some feedback. I'm going to put together some different notes and kind of lesson presentations later in the week, depending on how those examples go. Okay, my thought with that is I could kind of give you a mini lesson ahead of time than have you take the practice exams. But what I'd rather do is have you take them, and then we can focus that lesson on what you didn't know how to do as opposed to reviewing everything. Real quick, let's switch over to Moodle, and I'll just show you where that's at. As I scroll down, I've got AP Exam Review Week 1 right here. And the 2 kind of parts to your assignment we'll have are FRQ, as in free response question number 1. Okay, that'll be the methods and control structures example. And then free response question number 3. Those are both set up in Moodle quiz format. Like I said, they will be timed. And as soon as you submit it, I'm going to throw the answer, the official answer at you. I will go through your answer. I'll correct it. I'll send you some feedback with it. And then other thing I have for you is some runner code. I'll show you where that takes you in a minute. But basically a spot where you can go to an online IDE, plug your code into it, see how it runs, see what it looks like, see what you get. so you can kind of get some feedback with what's going on with how you did with your answer right off the bat. Now that's going to be the big thing we're doing on a weekly basis. Now you might be thinking that 2 free response questions, I'm going to get 20 to 25 minutes each. That's not going to take me a long time. I'd actually do the question, you're correct. But with these, you're going to want to spend a good chunk of time once you submit your answer looking through what kind of the official College Board worked out answer is. Okay, looking at the feedback I give you, trying your solution, the actual IDE. Okay, and making sure that you don't just get the assignment done, but you understand what's going on. Okay, so 2 kind of short questions, but my hope is that between what you're doing on your own and what I'm sending you, along with additional stuff, you are spending a good chunk of time reviewing that question once it's all said and done. Okay, what else do I have for you? I'm also going to have a daily coding problem that I'll put up on a daily basis. I'll show you where that is in a second. Basically, what my goal with that is to have you writing some code in an actual IDE every day, okay, until the test. Okay, I haven't decided if I'm going to throw something at you for the weekends as well. I think I will. But basically what I want to have is a daily, just kind of short 5 to 10 minute coding challenge, writing a method, writing an algorithm, so you're staying fresh on that stuff and practicing it every day. And along with that, I'm going to try to adapt it to what we need help with. So for example, if we stink at the strings on the first free response question I give you, I can hammer you with that until we're good, and then find other things we struggle with. Okay, I'm going to deliver it to you through CodeBoard.io. I will show you that in 1 second. And I'm going to give you lab points for this. Basically, there's going to be a lab point per day. You do the assignment. Okay, if your code works, you get the point. Let's take a look at what's going to happen with CodeBoard and why we're using that. Okay, so back to Moodle, where I have this. Okay, sign up for CodeBoard account. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to take me to the CodeBoard website. There we go. Okay, you need to create an account. So you'd click on the no account sign up here. It's pretty simple. It's going to ask for your email address, use your school email address to create a username and password. Now, the only thing I'm going to see when you submit something is your username. So I guess the rule I'd ask with that is please have your whole last name in your username in some shape and form. Okay, so as long as I've got your full last name in there, I don't care what else you do for the username, but make sure you have that. Okay, so that's CodeBoard. And then the way this is going to work is when you click on our daily coding problem, right here I've got problem 1. It's going to take you to the website. Let's run a little slow here. And it's going to take you directly to an assignment I started for you. Okay, CodeBoard isn't the perfect online IDE. There's better ones out there as far as creating your own stuff. But the nice thing about CodeBoard, what you're going to see in a second, is it's going to let me push files out to you. You'll be able to fill them in and then send them right back to me without you ever having to worry about setting up projects, importing files, stuff like that. Okay, so if you're not signed in, just click sign in now. As long as you don't sign out, it should just take care of you. Okay, so I've got that done. Not sure what that meant, but and basically, like I said, stuff's here for you. So what I've got for this one is a runner and then a speeding file. Okay, this is kind of a simple one to start off with. It gives you a little scenario about speeding tickets. Basically, based on your speed and whether it's your birthday or not, it's going to tell you what your ticket is. Okay, so I'm just going to plug some stuff in here real quick. We'll say if speed is less than, let's say, 55, return 0, else return, what do I want here, 70. Okay, so I'm just going to throw some code in here. That's not going to satisfy the entire situation you see up there, but it'll just kind of get us going with what's going on here. can delete this. I just need to return something to kind of make things work. So I'm going to plug my code in there. Things are set up for you. Like we did with our labs in class. Okay, I've got a runner here set up to run some code. I can compile up top. Hopefully it works. Yep, compilation successful. Then run. Down below is my terminal. It says ticket amount is 70. And that's what happened for this call to that method of 55 and a false. Okay, you'll learn more about what's going on with the method there. So you can use this to kind of test and see what's happening with your code. Now this is kind of sparse for the runners I usually give you. Here's the reason for that. What I've also got with CodeBoard is this test idea here where I can just click test. What that's going to do is automatically run a bunch of tests on your code and let you know whether you're passed or not. They'll pop up in the terminal down here. So when I scroll up top, it says I have 2 passing tests and 3 failing tests. In other words, my code worked for 2 different method calls, but didn't work for 3 of them. Okay, so as I scroll down here, it's going to tell me which ones it worked for. It didn't work for caught speeding 55 fail. Here's what I expected. Here's what I returned. Okay, so I think I missed the or equals to sign for that. It did work for 65 false. It didn't work for these 2. It did work for that one. Okay, so with that, and I guess there's some other gobbledygook down here if you get a missing test. But with that, it's going to tell you when your code works, when it doesn't, and then you can go ahead and fix it from there and kind of use that test button to check things out rather than worrying about a runner code. Okay, so that utilizes unit tests. It's kind of a way to give you some automatic feedback. And then with that, once you've got it passing all the tests, and I will give you help, email them if you need it, show up for office hours if you need it. Once you're done with that, you can submit it. That's going to send me your code. I'm going to get the same score that the test got you. So as you can see here, you passed 40% of all the tests. In other words, you got 2 out of the 5 I wrote for you correct. Now, ideally, you'd be at 100% for that. I'd give you your full point, but that's just kind of happening with that for now. Okay, so that's CodeBoard. Again, it's a pretty simple IED, but the reason I want to use this is it easily lets me push things out to you, lets you test them very simply and submit them back to me, and again, give you some auto feedback, give me auto feedback. If you need help with these assignments, I want to help you for sure. So, I'll make sure, again, you're getting help, you're reaching out to me. All right, so those are the 2 big things for the week that you need to get done. Now, based on these, what I'd also like to do is I want to give you a review lesson or some notes on Friday, okay, based on the results, mainly from our 2 free response practice questions. So shoot, I should have it up here, but get those free response questions done by, let's say, Thursday. That way I can see kind of as a class, how do we do, what do we need help with, what do we need to review, and then we'll either try to get together and actually meet live as a class, or I'll record something. Through our first kind of check-in sheet, I'm going to see what students have going on. But either way, we'll try to give you some feedback based on those results from what's happening through the week. Okay, through the free response question, or also the daily coding problems. Okay, the big thing I want to do through this process is keep things dynamic. I have a big list of resources to pull from, but really before I make decisions as far as what we're going to do next week, what I'm going to be doing with these daily coding problems, is I want to see how things are going for us. Again, if we find some issues on especially the first set of free response questions, I'm going to give you more questions that focus on that. That's what our review is going to be on. Okay, until we get that, then we can move on to something else. Okay, so really what I'm looking to do is see how you guys do with these assignments, and that's how I'm going to be making decisions as far as what we pick to do next. Okay, so that's the plan for the week. A few reminders for you. Number 1, that's out of order, but oh well. Office hours, I will be available online 7:30 to 9 every morning and 2 to 3:30 every afternoon daily. Okay, so if you need something, that's the time to check in. Please do check in on the Google form on a daily basis. And then finally, let me know if you need help. Okay, send me an email. I had a few students do that last week. We were working together. And it's pretty simple, especially if it's a coding problem. Send me the code. I can reply back with what the fix is or what the issue is. Okay, so big thing is don't sit there stuck. Don't quit on stuff. if you need some help, reach out. Then last thing, like I said last week, reminder, my wife is due on Wednesday. That doesn't mean I'm out on Wednesday, but potentially some point this week or next week or who knows when I could disappear on you. I'll try to give you a heads up, but don't hold it against me if all of a sudden I'm not there for office hours and don't give you a heads up. So my apologies for that if that happens, but this baby's on its own schedule, so not much I can do, I guess. All right, so that's the plan this week. We have 2 free response questions for you. There will be a coding problem every day. And then Friday, I'm going to put together some type of review to sum things up for the week. Okay, so that's what you're responsible for you. Okay, have at it, start going to town, and let me know what you need, what I can help you with.